So Reverend Desmarais, Reverend Debra Desmarais has lived in San Diego for 40 years and has studied healing for over 35. Her initial training at the First Spiritualist Church in San Diego included classes in spiritual healing, universal laws, and mediumship. Reverend Debra was ordained at the First Spiritualist Church in October of 1992 and served in many appointments as well as pastor. She has a long history with Harmony Grove, reading at psychic fairs and teaching at institute classes. Reverend Debra has taught many spiritual subjects in psychic development, including universal law, angel kingdom, tarot, chakra, and aura, and is also a Reiki master. She is currently the pastor of the First Christian Spiritualist Church in National City, lecturing monthly and offering healing and meditation classes. We are co-creators with Spirit to express in love and joy the message of our soul. Say yes to God. This is her belief. So we'd like to give her a very warm welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good to see you all here, bright and early. And this morning, and Spirit brought, of course, more information they wanted me to bring into the talk today. So I'm here changing all my stuff. But it's so important to pay attention to how we think about things, okay? Consciousness is key, all right? And we've been taught that, and it's been demonstrated to us throughout our lives and throughout our spiritual journeys. Is how are we thinking about that? And the scriptures this morning we're going to look at Romans 8, verses 14 to 18. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit, and we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joint heirs with Christ. If so, be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in me. And that's why those songs, are so precious to me, of inviting God in. Have thine own way. You are the potter, I am the clay. Okay. From 365 Science Mind, Ernest Holmes. We have Power of the Word. This is from their march, and it's faith. The universe seems beyond our comprehension. The slightest fact in nature is a miracle we cannot perform. All we can do is recognize that there is a way to work with spiritual law of the universe. We may rely upon it, for it will not fail us. We must come not only to believe and accept, but also to know that we are one with the living Spirit, and that God is all there is. Our word, being the presence and power and the activity of God's Spirit, activates the love, the law, of mind, which cannot fail to operate. Let us feel that there is something permanent about the word we have spoken. Just as we plant a seed and walk away from it, nature takes it up, and the law of its own being evolves it. So let us believe the same thing about our word. Something takes it up, something evolves it, and it will manifest. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. I affirm that it is the word of truth, establishing harmony as my experience. With utmost simplicity, I accept and believe in the answer to my own prayer because it is a prayer of acceptance. There is an intelligence, a divine presence operating in and through my life, guiding, directing, governing, bringing me good. This affirmation of acceptance endlessly repeats itself in my experience and in the experience of others. For whatever I identify, my word is lifted up in consciousness and made manifest. He that doeth truth comes to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in God. From John, I think it's 5:11. That's really tiny. Okay. I like to give it this time of year, St. Patrick's message. And Spirit brought to me, there's, it's so true about how we look at at things in our lives. And we think how inspiring to think of the calling of St. Patrick, that St. Patrick received, and even greater was his answer to God, choosing to return to Ireland, the country of his captivity, for 6 years to bring them the word of God. So it's looking, we think of Irish, Ireland, we think of green, we think of that beautiful color affiliated with the heart chakra, growth, expansiveness, prosperity, growth, beauty, the balance. It's in the middle of the color spectrum, so it is in the balance. It's a doorway between heaven and earth in our jewels of our chakras. And it's also been, it wasn't always the color that Ireland affiliated it with, but it has become that. And of looking at all the different meanings of the greens as we go through the chakras, study the different shades and what each of them means. And there's also been a saying of being green with envy. Okay? And in our lives, we've all had that kind of being envious of each other and saying, oh, I really wished I could have, what this person has, and what it would be like just to be in their shoes for a day, and there's a calling in that. There's an awareness of that, of saying what is in that is so important or compelling to us. And a lot of times through my life, you go a little deeper into the person's or the subject's history, or their different things that they had gone through, their experience. It goes a lot deeper, okay, than surface. and working with healing, you see that a lot, and I'd see, and you'd meet girls. There was one girl, I was just at like a park, like Disneyland or something, and I thought, oh my goodness, she's just so young, so much vitality, so much beauty, so much, wow, that'd be so great to be in her energy. And then later I heard her speaking to someone about she is racked with a disease that she really works through every day. We really don't know what a person's story is till we take the time or being aware of what is that attraction that we think that we are less than because we think someone else is more than or has more of something than we do. And the more in the spiritual teachings we look at and counting our blessings and being aware of all that we have in our life, we move away from that kind of thinking, from that consciousness, and come to appreciate what special people that we look up to actually went through, did in their life to create their life, to create their path, to create their connection with God. And as we go in with St. Patrick's life, he was born in Britain of a Romanized family at age 6, and his father was a deacon and a minor local official. And from the villa at 16, he was taken by Irish raiders into slavery in Ireland. He spent 6 bleak years there as a herdsman, during which he turned with fervor upon his faith, turned to God to help him through as being a herdsman there. And upon dreaming that a ship in which he was to escape was ready, he fled his master, found passage to Britain. And there he came near to starvation and suffered a second brief captivity before he was reunited with his family. And thereafter, he may have paid a short visit to the continent. And the best known passage, in the Confessio that he wrote later on, near the end of his life, after his return to Britain, in which one Victoricus delivered him in a letter headed "The Voice of the Irish." And he was very moved. He kept studying and working in his faith, but he kept getting messages that he needed to return to Ireland to help the people there. And so it was such a strength, such a courageous energy, courageous man to decide to go back and help the people. And there was, and because of the way, the religions are, they're like my way or the highway type thing, he was not like that. He respected the chieftains, he gave them gifts, he did not accept any gifts from them. He wanted everybody to just find the love of God that he had found. And when they tried to understand what he was talking about, he took the 3-leaf shamrock, clover, and used that to explain the Trinity, to the pagans at the time, and said there's Father, Mother, God, and we're all one, and it's all one. And that's why, and to this day, we still wear the shamrocks to represent the Trinity. There's so many beautiful symbols about us. The And when I love to study, St. Bridget, all the different pagan gods and goddesses, and the Greek gods and goddesses, and the Roman, they all have their counterparts, along with the Christian counterparts. Isis in Egypt is affiliated with Mother Mary. They all are representing something special and precious to us in our earthly life. And they're all just representing the gifts that we have. And as Christians and believing in the one true God, we just roll them all in there together. It's all in God. All is one. Like we are all connected. And we are all as one moving forward. And there's a lot of things that we go through in our lives and may not see it as so much miraculous or interesting. But each one of us has done so many beautiful things, touched so many people to help them on their path in a way of looking at things in a different way, or of looking at things with knowing that they are heard and they are precious in this world. Okay. And then we have, I'd love to touch on the leprechauns. And they're little earth beings like the gnomes. And I would tell Ted Andrews, who talks about in his book, he did one of the books I use, the Fairies of Enchantment, talks of when he was a young boy. Ever since he was little, he had a leprechaun that would sit on his desk. And he just figured everybody had a leprechaun sitting on their desk, And who's talked to him all through the years. And it's just there to help him see the fun and make things more interesting and fun for him as he goes about. So they're very earthy. They help us become aware of what's in the physical world for us, connected with the root chakra, which is the red, which was the first color of Ireland, actually, but now it goes to green. And there were the shoemakers that we hear about in the shoemaker's story. They don't ever want to be noticed, appreciated, whatever, because then you never see them again. You don't give them clothes, because then you'll never see them again. But they would make shoes for the shoemakers, and to help them. And they're very loving to do things and to work and take care of things. So there's still the lore of leaving a little bit of milk or bread or something out on the windowsills for them all and whatever. But they're there to help you feel more comfortable, more at peace, more grounded, more here and now. There's also different times of the year that you can connect with them a little better, certain places that we connect with them a little better, at intersections or and trees. I think we've all looked into the trees and seen the druids or seen spirits there wanting to connect with us and help us feel more grounded and more comfortable, where we can actually lay our troubles and feel a release of letting go of the demands of the world, and then just fill up with peace and love. Okay. So there's a lot of beauty, a lot of love, and a lot of awareness that as we are open comes in. Okay, they took it all away. So So it's time to recognize when you go into meditation, if you want to feel connected, you want to feel grounded, more here and now, more aware, it's a being in the here and now. Not thinking of future or the past, but what is going on right now? Because that's all we have control of. And just being in that vibration and connecting with the root chakra down to the center of Mother Earth. And then welcoming in your earth spirit, your gnome, or the tree spirit. Whoever comes to you, and welcome them in and help them. Let them assist you with feeling that peacefulness and that groundedness, and knowing that we're on this physical world for a reason. There's so many different ways that that we can connect and work with healing with ourselves, and it's being open to that. Pay attention when you're walking, because that is a meditation, of what you're seeing as you go. We're brought to different places for a reason. And be at peace. That's a big message Spirit had for us today, really, is just knowing that whatever comes about, no matter how difficult it seems, you're not alone, you're never alone. You always have your teachers, angels, guides, and you have your beautiful earth, air, fire, water spirits. You have all these different energies that come in to work with you. And just drink it all in and leave everything else aside. It's really important to just take care of yourself and what needs to be done in the moment. Let go of everything else. And thank you so much for listening, and thank you all so much for being here. Love you all. Bye-bye.